One footstep up the ladder is the economic stumbling block for African Americans trying to succeed in corporate America. Since the times of Jim Crow and the Civil Rights Movement, African Americans have been struggling to make ends meet.
This documentary called One Footstep Up the Ladder is the economic stumbling block for African Americans trying to climb the success of corporate America. When you go and apply for employment, do they tell you you're overqualified? And do they offer you jobs that are, underpaid jobs?
That's one reason why I started a nonprofit, so that I can be able to, as I stated earlier, give back to the community, because there are a lot of jobs or career opportunities that I have pursued, and I have been told that I was overqualified. In addition to being overqualified, many times they just don't call back at all.
And so do you feel that you've been overlooked for these employment opportunities? Why do you think that's happening?
I most definitely feel that I've been overlooked because even the jobs that I feel that I am compatible for, I obviously have been overlooked. There are some specific qualifications that I do have that should not deny me employment. However, for some reason or another, whether it is ethnicity, overqualifications, I have found that it's difficult to find opportunities in employment.
According to the Federal Reserve recently released 2013 Survey of Consumer Finances, white families are much wealthier than Black and Hispanic families at every education level.
So you went and you did everything correct in regards to now you have a grad degree from a top-notch university and still are having challenges getting employment in that field. Do you feel it's because you are overqualified, underqualified? Is it an hours requirement that you have to meet from service?
I think it's a mixture of all of the things. And I think it's a paradox that a lot of people don't like to mention. I think my race has a huge part to play with it, because when I talk to my counterparts and I ask them, oh, are you working? They're like, oh yeah, I got a job. And I'm like, I ask them where they applied for and what a company that they applied to, and I'm like, okay, like I applied for that company as well, and like little stuff like that. That makes it really hard, because it's like, especially going to USC and like being the only Black male in my class.
Dr. King marched on Washington, D.C. Since then, not much has changed in our communities. The relative position of Blacks has not changed economically since the march.
What would be your advice for them to really take, listen, find a way to implement for?
Well, number one is vote. You can't do anything if you don't vote. Secondly is be informed, because the more you're informed, the more likely you are going to vote. And yeah, when you're informed, you'll know what's going on around you. You know what the candidates are doing to try and address those issues.
We should constantly be educating ourselves on mental health issues and encourage dialogue and treatment. But during this economic downturn, it becomes ever more urgent. When you feel yourself slipping into a dark place, always seek help with a mental health professional.
One of the things that I worked with, and I had shared with you all off camera, about a young 18-year-old African-American woman that was diagnosed with schizophrenia. So one of the ways that I worked with her was looking at her journey from being a victim of something that happened to her, something very horrific, to being a survivor and being triumphant over that, which means that we have the opportunity to do something different.